It's the Texas weather discussion video for Tuesday, September 19th. I'm Donovan Neal. The summer pattern will continue for North Texas today and for the rest of this week, with rain chances remaining quite low until early next week. And the tropics, a lot of things to talk about in the tropics. A lot of things have transpired here. And also thank you for being patient with the school district differences early this week, as of yesterday. Let's take a look at the water vapor satellite view across the CONUS region this morning. We're actually in flat ridging here, but we are actually seeing a couple of clouds here and there this morning. Nothing to suggest a widespread overcast, and you can see Hurricane Maria is just off the east coast of the U.S. Take a look at the temperatures of 521, Arlington 74. Most locations on this map are in the low to mid 70s this morning, and we're actually going to see mid to upper 90s for most locations on this map today. Again, very a breezy and hot day, a summertime-like day expected today. Take a look at the watch warning map. We have red flag warnings, where we have some fire issues in parts of Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas. And to the east of that, we have a dense fog advisory, where some fog is possible. Down here in Texas, we're quiet. We have an enhanced risk for severe weather today for parts of Dakotas and parts of Minnesota, where all modes of severe weather appear possible. And down here in North Texas, notice how we're in green. That means a risk for thunderstorms, but no organized severe weather is expected. Day 2, same thing. Marginal risk for parts of Wisconsin down into Kansas City and Topeka. And on day 3, same thing. Notice how most of Texas is in green, risk for thunder, but no organized severe weather is expected. Average rainfall for the next 7 days. This is valid through Tuesday morning of next week. And notice how North Texas is basically, or DFW is basically a nothing, which means that rain should be little to almost non-existent here until early next week, when a pattern shift continues to be in play. But for the tropics, let's take a look at everything. First off, I do want to mention that the Gulf of Mexico is just dry as a mouse. Nothing is expected there for a while. Now, Lee, what used to be Tropical Depression Lee, is now just basically an open wave. Is about to be an open wave here. Shouldn't last too long. And Jose is. Let's take a look at Jose first. This is continuing to be a minimal hurricane. It's having a little bit of impact in parts of the East Coast. This is still a minimal hurricane with maximum sustained winds at 75. This is the official track for the National Hurricane Center. You can see that tropical storm watches and warnings are in effect for parts of the New York coast and parts of Cape Cod and parts of the New England area. And by Wednesday morning, this should weaken to a tropical storm before becoming post-tropical cyclone by later this weekend. Shouldn't really last past this weekend here. But you can see that Cape Cod and some of the adjacent areas could see some effects from this thing. And the model guidance from this thing, most of the members, of course, want to take it out to the northern Atlantic, not affecting the U.S. at all. And the GFS ensemble guidance and the 21 members, most members, of course, take this out into the northern Atlantic, of course, not affecting the United States at all. So we don't have to worry about this thing, but the one thing we do have to keep our eyes on is Hurricane Maria, major Hurricane Maria at that. This intensified from a Category 1 to a Category 5 in less than a day yesterday. And of course this is a GO-16 view of this making landfall on the Dominican Islands, where they've seen damage, quote, they've seen damage, this is damage like no other. they've never seen damage like that before. But this as of right now, this re-intensified to a Category 5 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 160 miles an hour, and this is expected to come right towards Puerto Rico by Wednesday, and then impact some parts of the Dominican by between Thursday and Friday, and of course by past 5 days we don't know where this thing might end up. This is the intent. This is the model guidance once again. And this has a pretty high chance that this will not affect the Gulf or Florida or the East Coast. This should just gain latitude and just recurve into the Atlantic. The GFS ensemble, of course, for a few outliers, the main thing on this map that you want to pay attention to is the black line with the squares. That's the mean here, and the mean recurves this, shows this gaining latitude, and recurves this to the northern Atlantic, not affecting land at all. Which if that verifies, that would be a good thing. And this is the European ensemble, and of course with the 51 members on this thing, most of these models recurve this out into the northern Atlantic. So, which is a pretty great sign. So there's a pretty good chance that we don't have to worry about this impacting the continental United States anytime soon. So let's go with the dailies here. This is the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid today at 1 o'clock at 500 millibars. Again, we have cold troughing in the northwest, and down here, due to a flat ridge, we should continue to stay dry. Again, with highs in the mid 90s, very breezy and partly cloudy throughout the day. Same thing, and if we do see rain, it should be a little speckles, as you can see on the high-res HER model at 4 o'clock this afternoon. This late afternoon, and of course most of the rain is to the east of DFW. If we do see anything, it'll basically be in the form of a passing shower or two that will quickly dissipate. Same thing on Wednesday. We should continue to stay dry and hot, partly cloudy with highs in the mid to low 90s. Same thing on Thursday, and same thing on Friday. You can see that Hurricane Jose is just basically stalling, making the loop-de-loop, is basically stalling here and not affecting the coast at all. And let's go to the weekend. Saturday looks like a mostly sunny and very warm day, of course with highs in the low 90s. You can see Maria right there is staying way to the east of Florida, not affecting that at all. Same thing on Sunday, and a week from today, Monday, the 25th of September, we have troughing in the west. You can see Maria is still deep in there, and you can see. We could see a chance of an isolated shower or storm or two, but too early to call. Again, highs warming down to the upper 80s or low 90s. This is the end of the forecast period. On Thursday, the 28th day of September, we still have flat ridging here, and again we could see a few clouds again with highs in the low 80s this time. And when you say fall, of course, when you say fall, the temperatures start to come down. When you say fall, by Monday of next week, we should be back to the upper 80s again. Again with the comfortable weather. But for now, for the majority of this week, we should continue to stay in the mid to upper 90s again, with summer-like weather conditions continuing to prevail. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'll have more notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you can, catch your local TV stations on the air at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Make it a great day, and Godspeed.